back to another video. It's me, the Review Master 19 here, and for the very first time on YouTube, we're going to be taking a look at Fujimi's Sentoku I400 Submarine. Let's get into it. History background for you. The I400 Sentoku Submarine, it's not a U-boat because it's not Japanese. This is the I400 submarine that we reviewed a few years back. This is a Hobby Boss kit with a very badly painted HEM601 Seron. You know, this is the proper good scale model. The decals are kind of fading off, but there's no features on it. It's got a tiny little Seron that you can, you know, move back and forth and remove, and apart from that, that's really it. But yeah, so the I400 was the world's first ever aircraft carrying submarine. Now it could carry 3 Aichi M6A1 Serons. The model comes with 3, and this one comes with 2 I400s. And you can either have them painted, or you can build them as they are and have decals or foil stickers. I've reviewed a few models from Fujimi before, Yamato, Akagi and Shinano, all of which are really good. So, really nice artwork on the box. You've got a Seron there, you've got the I400 smashing through the waves with its hangar open, and the hangar door actually opens on the model. You can move all the machine gun, anti-aircraft guns and the massive deck gun. And there's Fujimi. I don't read Japanese. I believe this is a stand that makes noise or something. That's the inside of the hangar. So it comes with 2 HE M6A1 Serons, which is Japanese for disappearing mist, like a ninja. And that's what they look like finished. On the side of the box, you've got what appears to be, well, Japanese, and that says 2, and you get 2 of them. So let's click our fingers and we'll be back with the components. Let me try that again. So the box open, you're greeted to a plethora of parts. It's done twice, so you can build 2 I400s. The first sprue we'll look at is the non-conspicuous red sprue. So here's what the hull looks like. It's already moulded in hull red, so you don't have to paint it if you don't want to. You've got the torpedo tubes on the sides there. The I400 could carry had 6 torpedo tubes, I think. No, it had 8 torpedo tubes, 4 in each. So it had no stern torpedoes, it had 8 bow torpedo tubes, 4 in each nacelle. You can see how large and wide it is as well. And then you've got the, I believe these are the dive planes or the aft hydroplanes, and then these are what you use to put on to the engines and whatnot. This is the rudder that plugs in, and as you can see, it plugs on there. And then you've got the propellers, which I'm going to paint gold. I've actually got some gold chromium markers. So that's sprue B of I400 class. So there's 2 of those. Very nice. The next sprue contains the front deck and some of the parts in the stand. So this is the deck of the I400. So you can see some really nice detail here. We can see the railing. This was a steam catapult, and that's how the I400s would launch. They would be stored in a watertight hangar, and details are really nice. That's where the deck gun goes. That's the aft crane, and then you've got the bow crane as well, which is really nice. Even got some, Fujimi always do an excellent job, and the reason why their kits are so hard to get in the UK, well, it's Japanese. These are parts for the hull. So if you look on the hull, it's got these little grooves in, and the idea is you're supposed to put those in. And there's even hanger detail and texturing which you put in. This is the stand. So here's my hand and that's the stand. Yep. I'll probably paint that black, and there are some decals and stickers which you can apply. These parts are really tiny because this is the hinges for the hanger door, watertight hanger door, and then you've got the bow hydroplanes, and you've got the stern rudder, which is very nice. So yeah, that's that sprue. The main hull, which goes on like that, so you can actually start to see how it works. So here's the main hull, and we've got lovely detail here. So we've got detail for the hanger. This is where the aircraft would be hooked onto, I believe. And the I400 had some sort of paint on it, which was like an anti-sonar paint, which I believe they borrowed from the Germans. A lot of Japan's technology was borrowed from the Germans, but the I400, could you imagine if Germany made a V1 carrying submarine? That'd be mad, or U-boot. So here's the hanger. So you've got this is it. This is what I was on about, the anti-sonar coating. It's actually implemented there. I didn't know that. And this is supposed to represent the hand wheel which they would use to open the hanger door. And then I didn't know that as well, but there's the welded plate, the nameplate as well, which is on the I400. As you can see, the conning tower's offset. Yep. And then you've got the anchors. For some weird reason, there's another anchor, probably to put on the stand or whatnot. And then you've got the hanger door, which is pointy. And again, you know, it's going to be able to open. This is part of the snorkel. This is the snorkel. And then you've got part of the deck where the anti-aircraft gun would go. You've got the periscopes. This thing here, that is a jamming radar. It detects aircraft. Very nice. And then there's more detail on the deck where your other 3 anti-aircraft guns are going to go. You've got a snorkel there. Those are the anti-aircraft guns. Small anti-aircraft gun and a massive big cannon. And then we've got the other part of the conning tower. Again, there's the paste there, which they used. And then there's the inside of the hangar. And it's actually, they didn't have to do this, but they did. So I'm actually going to probably smooth that line out. These divot lines out. I mean, you're not really going to see the I400s when the hangar's closed and whatnot, but you can if you want, you know, they're optional. That's the last sprue. I'll give you one more look at the last sprue before we actually get on to the aircraft. They come in this little bag. They are the Aichi M6A1 Zerans. And they're moulded in dark green, so you don't have to paint them. So this would be a really great kit for like a beginner, you know, or like a parent and their child who wants to get into modelling. I wouldn't recommend this for a beginner. It's not beginner friendly at all, mainly because it's Fujimi, and Fujimi are like ace kits. Probably I'd recommend on the difficulty scale, I haven't built it, but with model experience I'd say probably a 5 out of 10. So that's quite high. So you've got the floats there, you've got the thing which goes into the catapult. This is what the unfolded Seron looks like, so really cool. Then you've got the propeller, and that's where the floats go. And there's actually even bombs moulded on. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like bombs moulded onto them, not torpedoes. And this is the folded configuration. So these are the wings. Yep, so they're the floats, and these are the wings. And they actually do have holes, which is quite nice, and they plug into these. Very nice. It looks like it's going to be very easy to paint. Are the decals, and they're very shiny, so camera users, I do apologise. It does come with 2 water slide decals. So you've got I400, I401, I402 and I404, and then you've got the Hinamarus for the aircraft, the Japanese symbol, and, you know, the flag, if you want to add that. And then the yellow indicates the identification stripes, and the red is for the floats for the Seron. And you've got 2 of those. But if you don't want to do decals, you can use these. I might actually add this to the deck. Yeah, I'm going to add this decal to the deck. But yeah, really cool. Really nice. And then you have the nameplates, which really strike out. So we have I400, I401, I402, and I404. You can choose which 2 to build. And yeah, guys, that is the I400 by Fujimi. But we're going to look at the instructions last. So really nice. These are the paints you'll need, which I already have. So it's got some bits in colour. It starts off in colour, and then it goes into white. And Fujimi instructions are always good quality. So that's assembling the hull, assembling the conning tower. That's some of the places to put the decals and places to paint the propellers and whatnot. You place the Serons in, that's how you paint them. The undersides will be painted as sky grey. I'm not going to paint them silver and put American stars on because, well, I like to be accurate. There's no evidence that they actually did that. So you had the snorkel, you had the hangar door, there's little clips, you had the periscope and all of the like radar jammers and whatnot, and you got the I400 1, 2, 3, 4 flat guns or anti-aircraft guns, and then you have the I400, how to assemble that. And then the hydroplanes, the dive planes, Deckgeschütze, the deck gun, and the rear rudder, which you'll be able to move. So yeah, if you don't glue parts in, you might be able to move them. And yeah, there's an additional stand which you can buy as well, which makes noise, I believe. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, share and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I shall see you in the next one, which is probably when we build this thing. It's probably going to be UK time, probably a Friday. We'll just see how everything goes, see what paints I have. But yeah, really nice little egg-shaped kits. That's the Fujimi I400. Until then, take care, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.